Hey everybody, how are you guys doing today? We're having a really nice match today on our hands. It's the final of the Go4Heroes weekly tournament and SK Gaming is going up against 3 Max in a best of 3 series. And this game was pretty epic, especially the finish was so damn close. It was absolutely brilliant to cast those games and I hope that you're excited for them as well. Grab yourself some popcorn, get something to drink and let's jump into game number 1 on Shire between SK Gaming and 3 Max.
Welcome to the final of the Go4Heroes tournament, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the best of 3 series and this is map number 1. We are looking at 3D Max versus SK Gaming and starting to the left side of Shire. It is our Ragi on ETC, Snitch on Tyrande. We have Kumato Boss as the healer on Rhaegar, Zamoni playing Vala and Bakery on Sergeant Hammer. So a lot of damage already on the side of SK Gaming. Looking at 3D Max, it is AD Ardi to the right side for the Polish team on Tacita. We have Shire on Arthas, Leo from Korea on Uther, Nika is playing Falstad, and Yova is playing Zeratul. So one of the heroes that a lot of people would probably not have expected to get through the bans, but he did indeed. So let's see how that's going to work out in this case. We already have a lot of heroes in the mid lane. Falstad the only one who can't be bothered apparently. LeBird is still up at the top and he just doesn't care what's going on in the mid lane. Maybe the rest of 3D Max ate chicken earlier on and maybe 1 or 2 relatives of Falstad were in the Happy Meal. So right now he doesn't bother with that, he just stays at the top and in the mid lane it is a 5 versus 4 because of it. Wow! SK playing a really aggressive style, but Aragi of course moving up to the top lane now that the waves clash together to make sure that they don't lose out on any experience there. Over here it's also the attempt to just like go from one lane to another. It's a pretty common strategy by now that you have this lane rotation with 4 heroes between the bottom lane and the top lane. And Bakery is already locked down by Arthas. And that gives us a lot of stuff to think about already. I mean, first of all, this rotation happens usually every 8 seconds. Zamoni is very low as Yoa is giving him quite a bit to think about. We're having a lot of really interesting first talents that we're seeing here. First of all, we have Rancor taken by Vala. And a lot of people have not seen a Rancor build for a long time. It was like the standard build in Heroes of the Storm in the alpha for like ages. It was really one of the most popular builds that we had there, but it kind of fell off. And right now, one of the reasons why Rancor is suddenly a talent that people are looking at again and saying like, hey, this is interesting, we could do something with it, is the new level 20 talent that we have had introduced in the last patch. Nexus Frenzy that Vala can get, which gives her 20% increased attack range and 20% faster attack damage, faster attack speed. And with that, Rancor build and right-click build suddenly become extremely interesting. Vala turns basically into a human machine gun, which is insane. And that is something that we could see in this game as SK is working towards that build. At the same time now, looking at the level 4 talent, we're having still Arsenal being used. An interesting choice here. Oftentimes when you go for Rancor you would instead just simply use your Manticore, which is extremely strong for that. Nice fight here at the bot lane, but still the Dragonite taken by Yova up in the mid lane. We had Nika doing a great job against our Ragi there. Nika is going for a build that is once again just like focusing on power throw and gathering power here on level 4 and on level 1. So going more for that burst build that we've seen already a lot. They're not going for that right click build that 3D Max has been playing earlier today. But the hero choices that we have for them are still quite interesting. Especially Arthas lost a lot of his tankiness in the last patch. Like the heal on his ghouls got completely reworked and is now a lot lower than before. But he overall has more damage output because especially the Frozen Tempest, his Frost Aura does more damage now. He lost his Burst on the other hand since Envenom was taken away from him, and this is also the reason why we're having the Frozen Tempest mana cost reduced on level 4. What still surprises me is that with this build he goes for the block on level 1, which kinda helps him to be a bit more tanky. And as I said earlier, like the patch definitely made him weaker in that regard. But it also, of course, does not increase now the range of the Frozen Tempest, which is one of the great things to have, especially now that it does more damage. So, a few experiments going on right now from the two teams. just trying to get the new builds in, trying to experiment with a couple of talent that they didn't get before. Araragi and Nika fighting it out at the top lane still, but over here it is those easy camps that are being attacked, and that's one of the main reasons why we usually have teams focus on the bot lane at the beginning of the match, that you have access to the 2 easy camps, and SK is stealing, SK has to deal with a stolen one, since we had 3D Max moving in and steal one away from them. We're having level 7, nearly 8 now for the Polish team, and SK is just starting to fall a bit behind here. The level 7 talents in this case, we're actually having on level 4 groupies being used with a guitar solo that also heals nearby allies, and not the standard talent which we usually have on most ETC players. But ETC is a hero that sees a lot more play these days, so I guess a few additional builds are bound to just pop up at some point. Battle Momentum taken by Vala, and Rancor of course works extremely well together with Battle Momentum. Since you reduce the cooldowns a lot, Rancor with increased attack speed is going to help you with this. We don't see Searing Arrows though, which is one of the most, like if you really want to go for right click damage, it's one of the talents that a lot of teams have taken, or a lot of players in the past, going for Rancor, Manticore and Searing Arrows to get the most out of a right click. But in this case it's more of a hybrid build that Zamoni is playing. That's extremely interesting, since I'm very curious to see where this is going. If he still goes for the Frost Shot on 13, or if he goes for a different talent, like something like Giant Killer. For now we're having, for the rest, oh, nice lockdown here, but the healing ward and immediate reaction by Komate Boss. Mid lane, that's where this time Zamoni is trying to prevent another Dragon Knight. Yoba is already there, and with level 7 on the board, he has now his heal as well. Regeneration Master on level 1 was taken by Zeratul. We've seen this earlier today already once, and I guess if you want to have additional tankiness on your Zeratul, that is a decent talent. Oh, great kill there against Rhaegar. The first blood in the game goes to 3D Max. Regeneration Master was actually changed a bit, I think, because it increases now the regeneration by 4 per second, and that is quite a bit. Like we already had in one of the earlier games today, I think an additional 50 regeneration per second, which is absolutely amazing. Good kill here against Tacita. The top lane, it's Nika versus Araragi still, but the bot lane kill that we saw against 3D Max put SK in a position where they could finally get that shrine, but now it ends up in the hands of 3D Max again, and Zeratul might actually be able to go up here and grab the Dragon Knight, at least if Nika can steal this one, and he can. Araragi is already there, so job well done by him. At the bot lane we have all of them fighting still. Level 10 is now for both of them on the board, a bit later for SK than it is for 3D Max. Can they move in? No Hinterland Blast. Don't try to finish them off, at least not now. We have Mosh Pit taken, of course, on the side of Araragi. Starfall is being used. Vala apparently not really certain if she wants to go for the Rain of Vengeance or instead for Strafe, and there is Strafe, I like it. And for the ballsy choice, we're having Ancestral Healing, of course, used by Rhaegar, no surprises here. The top lane still being pushed in, Nika doing his thing here. And we're having at the bot lane that battle with 4 heroes pushing against the wall and trying to take that down. But there comes Leo. Shaihu is already in position on his Arthas. Very low radius, by the way, now in the Frozen Tempest. I think this is one of the first times when I actually see that without the additional talent. Arthas is going to be an interesting character in this patch, and I would really like to see teams still play with him, but for now he lost a lot of his appeal, and this is one of the first times that I've seen him picked in the new patch. And I'm curious to see how that's going to work out for them. Another Dragon Knight, Yoa picks him in the mid lane. I really like how 3D Max is currently like just playing the map. Not necessarily the fights per se, but the map, that's something where they really start to excel here. They got the second Dragon Knight right now and do really well with all of this. Pushing the opponent back, already another level ahead of their opponent, going straight for level 13 now in just a few seconds. At the top lane, Nika is doing a great job against Araragi. We're having in the mid lane Bakery, Snitch and Zamoni starting to push the Dragon Knight back as far as they can. All 2 teams are trying to solve from the 3 lanes that we see there. And now, Sprint is already taken on 13. We're having in this case the extra shield now taken, the static shield on Falstad, which is one of the newer talents as well. It's a pretty interesting one, especially of course in big team fights. Wormhole for Zeratul, not really a surprise there, and for Arthas in this case it is Relentless, which will help him to stay alive a bit longer. Yoba already trying to go for another punt there, but oh, that Dragon Knight is not going to make it, at least for now. Yep, there comes the Owl. flies right into his mouth, and there's feathers everywhere. It's nasty, it's dirty, it's ugly, and down goes the Dragonite. So another attempt to steal that camp away. It's 5 heroes against 4. Araragi is still at the top lane, so there's very little that SK can do about that. They're gonna lose that, and they don't even really try. They try to get some free damage in, and that's about it. Oh, and they really want to go for it. There comes Araragi. Does he get the mosh pit off? Ooh, nice ulti, and down goes Tyrande. Boah, what a kill against ETC as well. They get the double kill, and even with a mosh pit there in Araragi's attempt to salvage the situation, they just lose too much. 3D Max is currently on a killing spree. These guys are doing work. 3 kills against 1. And we have them now starting to push the bot lane where a fort could fall. Great start into this first game of the best of 3 series here at the Go4Heroes final, ladies and gentlemen. Down to the bot lane, that's where we're currently having Nika, Leo and Yova in position. There they go again. Now looking at the regeneration master talent for another second, we're 9 minutes in, and looking at Zeratul, he already has 6 stacks, so that gives him additional 28 regeneration in total with the initial boost that you get when you activate the talent in the first place. So yeah, for 9 minutes in, this is actually not too bad. I mean, I guess later on in the game, he would really like to have a bit more than that. It allows Zeratul just basically to not move back all that much. For me personally, the only thing that I find a bit surprising is that they use Regeneration Master together with a First Aid, because I feel that's maybe overdoing it a bit, and you could get the extra damage in there, but it allows Zeratul to definitely stay on the map, and also to like maybe jump in a bit more aggressively, since he can then just move back, heal up again, and be absolutely fine. An attempt to steal the hard camp away is not going to be successful, but it opens up some space for Zeratul to do work at the bot lane, and that fort is going to fall. Hard camp was now taken by SK Gaming, so they get that, but level 16 is nearly there for 3D Max. Level 13, by the way, with a frost shot on good old Vala. I should have probably mentioned that too. And we're seeing here the barricade used on Sergeant Hammer. It's great that you always see different talents on Hammer on 13 and 16, but Snitch suddenly being attacked. Tyrande is low. Hinterland Blast hitting home, but not killing Tyrande. She moved in a different direction. The Starfall was great, but suddenly there's a wedge driven between the SK heroes, and Yovo with a great ulti is able to lock them down. There comes the Howling Blast. Zamoni is dead. Bakery is dying, or is he able to get away? Looks like he's able to get away. Araragi only, well, he's actually not capturing anything here. Goes down in flames and is eliminated as Bakery dies as well. That tank was dismantled already. Kumato Boss just barely escapes the Howling Blast, and now they can go for another fort here easily. And the problem, of course, is even bigger than that, since the top shrine has now been taken too, and that means that Dragonite number 3 is also going to end up in the hands of 3D Max. They are playing a great match here. It's level 17 versus level 14 at this point. The 16 talents for them, with the imposing presence on Uther. We're having, of course, Overdrive used on Falstad for the extra damage on his spells, the double Storm on Tacita, and who would have thought the double bomb on Zeratul, who's getting a lot of damage in with this. Just looking at the damage meters right now, you can really tell that especially Tacita and Falstad are doing a lot of work here for the team. We have still more damage on Sergeant Hammer, but it's just not something that helps them to get there to win these fights. Snitch is super low. Here comes Araragi trying to move in once again, but the fort is already down, and you cannot really fight if you escape. But apparently they want to, since a lot of the heroes are already extremely low for 3D Max. They're going in right now. One kick away, ETC is not with the team anymore, and well, without that talent, I really would not want to fight there. But, well, it looks like 3D Max at least is starting to push and pressure in even more. 6 kills versus 1. Araragi is escaping the stun that we saw there. So did the 3D Max players. Once again, Tyrande was trying to get her stun combo in. But, well, we're having now 5 players starting to move in. Once again, the double bombs by Yova being used here. Others trying to engage. They don't have the 16 talent just yet. Are they really trying to fight here? Araragi is moving in. Here comes another Void Prism, and Leo is moving in for the team stun, and there it is. Oh my god. Zamoni just got deleted from the game. He's never gonna come back from this one. Down goes Tyrande as well, and this was brutal. There's the Archon still alive. They can just simply move down and push through one of the walls. They're trying to steal the camp away, and already doing that. 8 kills versus 1. Aragi is in position here, is starting to move back now as well. He cannot really stay in front of that wall, at least not if he wants to live, so he needs to move behind it, and that's exactly what he does here. We have the Siege Shire camp pushing in, and of course with 2 heroes still dead, it's very difficult for SK to muster up a defense here. Aragi is always trying to push them back and at least buy some time for the rest of the team to revive and go back in. And they take those Siege Giants down, but the wall is already gone, and now Aragi is way too far out here. Is he really trying to fight once again? Down, in comes Yoa, there comes a Howling Blast, pushing them away, barricade already being used, blocking our Aragi, and not so much the opponent. 16 versus 18, that's currently the levels that we are seeing there, the 16 talents with imposing presence on ETC. We have double Lunar Flare talents taken on 13 and 16. Oh, Aragi with the ult! He gets the perfect ult off! He gets everybody with his ult, but nobody dies! Nobody dies! At least not from 3D Max! SK on the other hand is starting to lose their heroes. They are starting to move in, but down goes our Aragi. Komato boss is extremely low. The cap taken by SK. IDRD comes from the other side. Oh, Shire goes down. And, well, what about Rega as well? It's a 2-for-1 still. A third one dying as Yoba jumped in, but he goes for the Void Prison move here. Zamoni is extremely low as well. They're trying to kill him too. Yes, there he dies. And this is a 4-for-1. Only Arthur's dying there. What a battle by 3D Max. I mean, they are playing such a great game here right now. 3D Max is absolutely wrecking face in this game. SK had some really nice moves and also some very good initiations there. That ultimate that we saw from our Aragi in the last battle was perfect. I mean, when have you ever seen in such a competitive game a mosh pit that's better than that? Catching 4 heroes like this, that was great. We have Nika flying in and trying to grab that Dragon Knight. I'm actually not quite sure if he can do that. ADRD is moving in. They're trying to go for the kill? Nah, not just yet. But yeah, even with that ult, they were not able to kill anybody except for Arthur's, and he died way later than that. A nice grab at the bottom shrine, ETC moving in and trying to get this one. So they denied the Dragon Knight, which I find really impressive considering that 3 of their heroes were down. Maybe 3D Max just a bit too slow with that, with the move trying to get that. Right now, Aragi, Snitch, and Komato boss are at the bot lane, trying to fight again, but they do not have Sergeant Hammer yet. Sergeant Hammer isn't there. Aragi moves in, uses his spells. Oh, nice dodge on the Hinterland Blast. That didn't do anything, but Snitch dies regardless. Good ult by Zamoni. Oh, the rest of the team is being pushed back. It's still a 4 versus 5, but the heroes of 3D Max are extremely low. Not sure if they can turn this right now. ADRD and Leo are both low. Leo heals himself in the last second. Down goes Sergeant Hammer. That's a lot of the DPS that is gone, and Aragi doesn't make it either. Then here at the bot lane, another just quick approach by Zamoni trying to move back, and Komato boss, he dies, and well, guess what? This is a complete team wipe as Vala also bites the dust. Level 20 is now on the board for 3D Max, and that of course means that we have the rewind on Zeratul. We're having the hardened shield on Arthur's, which makes him nearly unkillable for 4 seconds in a big fight. And right now, this is looking like horrible. I mean, 3 levels behind, 17 kills against 2. This is total annihilation. This is 3D Max just mercilessly beating down on an opponent that's already on the ground. And with the keep taken apart, they could move and go for core, and I guess that's what they're gonna do. 1 hero, 2, soon to be 3, will be back in the game. But as you can tell, this is not gonna matter any longer. With the Dragon Knight moving in right now and even doing damage, nice Void Prison, catching 3. Mistcore is gonna fall for sure. Here comes the ultimate, and GG as in game number 1. 3D Max takes down SK Gaming and wins the first map in the best of 3 series.
Okay, so game number 1 was definitely a domination by 3D Max. They did everything they needed to win, and they played it just so damn well. SK Gaming didn't stand a chance there, but this is the best of 3 series, and we're in the final, so both teams will really fight to the end to claim the title here today, and SK Gaming is not going to be an exception to that rule. They are going to go into map number 2, and going to try to win it here to force a 3rd map out of their opponent. So let's jump right into it, and map number 2 between 3D Max and SK Gaming.
Game number 2, ladies and gentlemen, between SK Gaming and 3D Max here at the finals of the Go4Heroes tournament. As you can see right now, we are looking at Cursed Hollow, and to the left side we have SK Gaming down in the series. They lost map number 1. Our Ragi on Stitches, Snitch on Tacita, Kumato Boss on Uther, Zamoni on Arthas, and Bakery on Nezebo. The right side of the map, it is 3D Max, the Polish team that completely demolished SK on map number 1. We have ADRD on Vala, Shaihu on Muradin, Leo from Korea on Rhaegar, Nika on Falstad, and Yoa on Zeratul. So it's going to be interesting to see if SK can recover after they got really blown to bits in game number 1. That was not really a good game for them. It snowballed out of their hands completely. And in this game, of course, they are out for revenge. They want to take down 3D Max, force them into map number 3. And I'm really excited to see if they're able to pull it off, and if so, then how. We have nice heroes that are currently in the game. Illidan was banned, and also Sergeant Hammer. So right now, as you can see, we are having first of all Vala taken down at the bot lane. We're having at the same time, not taken down like Vala at the bot lane, ADRD and Leo from Korea. The two of them are trying to just like push that tri-lane back. At the top we're having Yova and Nika putting some pressure on Zamoni, who's playing Arthas now. And he's going for block here as the first talent. We have once again the Regeneration Master talent chosen for Yova on Zeratul. So definitely a very different style that we have from him on this hero. Mid lane, a little bit of roaming potential. That's of course especially where we're going to see Zeratul trying to make an impression on SK. Roaming around the map and trying to get maybe a kill or at least some free damage in. The one thing that's also interesting to note is that besides the multi-shot build that we are seeing for ADRD, we're having at the same time Thunderclap being used again on level 1 Reverberation for Muradin, so that allows him against the right-click team to make sure that they are not getting that much damage in. It's good against the Stitches, who's most likely going to go for Tenderizer. It's also going to be nice against Arthas, who does by now a bit more damage, especially of course with his Frozen Tempest. Reverberation doesn't work against the Frozen Tempest itself, but of course if you can dodge one more Frostmourne, one more Frostmourne attack, that's always then worth it. And up at the top we have Nika on Falstad, who is going for his for the normal build again. We're just going to try and take the burst damage in here. Well, we have level 4 for both teams at the same time, and it is amplified healing for Stitches. Even though he's not the only tank in the team, he's still going for that. I would expect our Ragi to go for the hybrid build again that he already showed us earlier, where he goes for Slam Talents on level 13 and 16. We have, besides that, Frostmourne as the focus of the build that we are seeing for Arthas, instead of the Frozen Tempest that we saw earlier. So right now it's Destruction on Frostmourne. It's really interesting to see how suddenly Arthas is being played in a completely different way, or sees a lot more talents come into play now that Blizzard changed his healing in general and tried to just move the hero around a bit. Because right now Venom is not an option on him anymore, so the burst damage that he had is gone, but he's still in a pretty interesting spot. Once again, ADRD is going into a build that we've seen also played by Nika. It seems to be one of those things that especially 3D Max is doing, but I've seen also El Nexo players pick up on that build by now, where on level 4 you go for the Puncturing Arrow, which gives you a bit of a better range and also makes sure that you are getting the additional hit in with a skill, and that's actually pretty cool. You lose of course Arsenal, which helps you with the wave clear. The grenades are then gone, but still it's an interesting talent to take, and it's something that I played with it myself, try to just like give it a bit of a shot, and it works pretty well. It's actually quite nice. Also, we have in the team in total 3 times Gathering Power, 2 times on the side of 3D Max on Falstad and Zeratul, once on Nezebo for SK Gaming, and it's once again one of those slow-paced games. The first tribute goes to 3D Max, you saw that on screen a second ago, but so far not a lot of this stuff is really happening here. Nice wall of zombies against Yowe, doesn't really get a lot of damage in. An additional storm from Snitch that moved in from the mid lane also helps a lot with that. 7 talents, like it's exactly at the same time that those 2 talents hit. And we have once again the battle momentum taken by Vala. We are also seeing, of course, again Rune Tap by Arthas. I mean, that talent didn't change. It's just absolutely amazing. The Git Bin used by Nazebo, and we're having the Storm Talents on Tazazar. So not really a big surprise in terms of talent, at least nothing just yet. First aid taken on Zeratul also. We've seen that in all of the games where they were able to get the Zeratul through. Our Aragi and his team are trying to fight now for the tribute. A good hook against Leo from Korea, but the healing ward in the back is in a great position, very difficult to get to. We should put one of the heroes on top so that it can't be taken out. And yeah, the interrupt is there. Falset is still at the top lane, so it is a 4 versus, or it's still a 4 versus 4 as Arthas is moving down, but Falstad is moving back. He TP'd back into the Nexus, healed himself up and can now fly in, which is exactly what he does. Arrives at the same time that Zamoni does. Nice lockdown against Shaihu, and Yobe blinks back in the last second. Oh, Shaihu was trying to jump away, but goes down. Oh my god, that Dwarf Toss did not land properly. He was trying to jump on the other side, but he didn't pull that off. Now suddenly Tassadar is down. Yo on his Zeratul doing a lot of work. Leo trying to kill one of the heroes of SK out, but didn't get the chance there. Vala just barely surviving. A lot of those heroes are super low, and they're trying to go for the interrupt. Oh, nice! Samoni is super low. Bakery with the shield! They kill Falstad, and suddenly ADRD is about to die too. Bakery was so close to dying, but ADRD, oh my god, he just barely survived. Great jukes that we saw there, juking out Uther and able to retreat. 2 kills against 1. That tribute was captured, by the way, by 3D Max, so great job by them getting the tribute here. But oh boy, was that a fight for that first tribute. That was amazing. Experience is still exactly the same. Shaihu in the mid lane against Kumato boss now. At the top, you're already having experience gathered up by 3D Max. They are moving in for that. And that's now a bit annoying, of course, for SK, since they are losing out a bit of the experience that we see there. Bot lane, Leo from Korea versus Bakery. Both of the teams are trying to heal their heroes up again. But yeah, those fights were great. Our Ragi together with Snitch are going to take the hard camp here. We have the hard camp also taken by Shaihu and ADRD. Top lane, that's where Zamoni and Nika are once again clashing against each other. And now with the level 20 talent, we are actually seeing Reign of Vengeance being used. Zamoni pushing Nika back. Has to be careful here. Howling Blast was evaded. And in terms of the talents, nothing out of the ordinary. Still the Army of the Dead, the Divine Storm on the side of SK Gaming together with Archon, Ravenous Spirit, and in this case, actually Putrid Bile instead of Gorge. So not the Hook Gorge, but trying to just fight those tribute fights with the Bile on the ground, which can be really strong. We have, of course, Reign of Vengeance, as already mentioned, together with Avatar, with Ancestral Healing, Hinterland Blast, and also the Bubble, the good old Void Prison being used here. Oh, nice hits that we see from Falstad. And oh, down here Nazebo apparently caught off guard. Down he goes, turns it into a 4 versus 5. They cannot fight for that. They're trying to stall as much as they can. Good hook against Shaihu, but the Dwarf is the last person you really want to get there. Oh, good storm to prevent the tribute from being taken. Oh, that Hinterland Blast did work, and down goes Uther as well. Shaihu jumps in, they drop another one. Stitches is dead, Zamoni just barely surviving. Yoa gets away thanks to the healing ward. He himself dies. Job well done. It's a 5 versus 3 that they had. They killed 4 heroes. It's 5 kills against 2. Nika is still very low and gets taken apart by Bakery. Great ulti that we see in there from Nazebo. Really well done. Takes at least Falstad down, but they got one of the towers, get a bit more damage in, and they get the tribute. So right now, it is the curse upon SK Gaming that they have to deal with, and that opens up the bosses on the map that we could see rotations towards too. And that would have been nice. That would have been really, really nice to see. Well, down to the bot lane, what we currently have there is SK trying to defend as many of their forts as they can, but now ADRD is moving in, takes one of those towers apart, or is trying to. The top lane is also being assailed. Level 13 talents are already on the board for 3D Max. They are looking at Thunder Strike here, which is the extra damage against isolated targets on Muradin, which is always nice. Frost Shot taken by Vala. And we are seeing for Rhaegar, the healing surge, where he's just like getting the extra healing in. Tassadar taken out apparently by ADRD, but down he goes as suddenly in the last second the curse is over, and that is the end of Vala. But the experience still ends up in the hands of 3D Max, and they are trying to contest this bot lane attempt by them to get the boss. Leo with the ancestral healing gets hooked, but what a great Hinterland Blast! Leo about to die, but the rest of the team is moving in. Oh my god, those double kills. Look at those kills. Amazing moves, and they could take boss, but they don't go for it. That boss is going to be back on full HP in just a second. They could have actually gone for it, but apparently they're trying to take down the Arthurs. Actually, they lost a lot of heroes there as well. And once again, the old Shire about to move back. 6 kills versus 8. It looked at the beginning that they could really take down a lot of the heroes without losing too much themselves, but I think we saw how fast that can turn around. Zamoni, Snitch and Bakery now trying to push this one in. At least the boss wasn't taken, and ADR is coming in from behind right now, getting in the frost shot in to slow them down. Zamoni already low, Bakery without the ultimate as well, and down. Lower just moves back in the last second. They're still trying to get the kills in there, and especially Zamoni is very low. A nice dodge there on the Howling Blast, and they push them back for now, but still they were able to escape. Once again, the slam build on 13 and 16 that we've expected from our Aragi on Stitches. We have also good old shrink rate taken, and a double sprint that we are seeing from them now. Once on Uther, once on Azebo, and the 16 talent or the 13 talent for the Frozen Tempest. The Frozen Tempest damage was even increased, and I think by now the talent starts to make some sense, since in general the last patch increased the damage on this ability. Level 15 versus level 14, still a lead for them, but yeah, those fights that we just saw, they're very, very close. I think at the beginning of most of those, 3D Max is doing very well, but you can really see that we have a pretty stable and very sustainable composition for SK Gaming. Especially that front lineup with Stitches and Arthurs is doing quite a bit of work, even with the damage. Talking about damage, just look at that real quick. Damage output on Arthurs is at 19,000. That is starting to rival the damage that we are seeing from Nazebo. Boss is being attacked up at the top, and with that he actually surpasses the damage on Stitches and on Tessita. So very nice damage output on Arthurs in this case. If you're looking at 3D Max, of course, Vala once again excels, and Falstad is a close 7. But those numbers are pretty interesting, so you should keep that in mind when we're talking about Arthurs in the future. Talents again, going to be the important ones, and the 16 talent is now available to 3D Max. That also enables them to get an easy tribute here at the top, since SK is not even fighting for it. You can't fight against that Blood for Blood. The Stone Form alone makes Mirrodin even tankier than he was before. Overdrive is there. Boss is now pushing in the lane as well. And that is the cue for them to jump in there. Oh my god, what is Snitch doing there? Holy cow, I guess he was just like trying to move in and have a look. Whatever he was doing there, he is not gonna have a good day. Down Snitch goes. The level 16 talent is finally available to SK Gaming, but with Snitch dead, they cannot contest it. Very unfortunate for SK. We're having also the 16 talents now with Frostmourne feats, so you can use it twice in a fight. That's actually like really interesting talent choices that we are seeing from Zamoni on Arthur, so really more of a damage build that we see with him. And that's going to be pretty cool. In the last patch there was one build for Arthurs and nothing else. One build that you could go for and everything else was inferior. But now teams are experimenting a lot with different builds for different scenarios. Do you play the only tank in the team? Do you try to play tanky? Do you try to play for damage? There's so many things that you can do with that now. Of course, Stitches again with that mini stun on level 16. The teams are moving in, trying to drop the wall here. We have the double storm also for Tacita, which will make it so much easier for him to get the hero damage in, and also, of course, the damage against Siege. But this keep is extremely low, and the boss alone can just like take that out now. It looks like SK is trying to engage, but yeah, all of that just did not help. The boss did its damage. The first keep is down. 18 versus 16, the talents. And so far, I have to say that 3D Max is playing a fantastic series. Our Aragi is very much alone in the mid lane, completely left alone, gets a Devour in, and oh god, those shields were good. Really well done by the rest of the team, keeping him alive there. I already was about to just order him a casket, because he did not look like he would make it there. Yeah, I was sending out funeral invitations just a second ago, but our Aragi is still alive. Good hook against Nika, and suddenly they burst the bird. They plucked the bird, and well, it's chicken for dinner tonight. Very well done here. So suddenly SK turning that around in the situation. And Bakery, I really like his spirits here. His ultimate on Azebo, so far he was always making sure that he was in a good spot for those, and got a couple of kills already in this game. I really like it. We're having at the same time now the attempt to just like take another tribute here, and this tribute is currently taken by SK Gaming. That puts the second tribute into their hands. And starting towards the right side, there is another camp that is being attacked. They're going straight for the Siege Giant camp. Of course, they're still down 1 hero, so they have to do something. But our Ragi and his team, SK, they are trying to steal that, and they'll get it. They'll get it. You have to let that go. If you still have 10 seconds down on Zeratul, sorry, on Falstad, while Zeratul is at the top lane, you cannot possibly contest that. There's just no way for you to really pull that off. Yeah, Jove is starting to move in at the top now, getting more experience for his team. He of course wants to make sure that they're not starting to fall behind, or that the difference in experience is not being closed out by SK. It's all about the level 20 for now, trying to go into position for this. Just to give you a bit of an idea about the damage once again, Arthur's by now is at solid 24,000. So with the double storm that we are seeing for Tacita, it's of course a bit easier for the hero to really catch up with that. But still very nice damage output for Arthurs in this case, and also against the siege damage in general, which includes of course the waves too. So they're moving in again, another tribute is spawning, and well, for 3D Max that is a very difficult decision to make. Do they fight for it and try to prevent the curse, or do they just went for the 20? And I guess you kind of have to fight for that, you can't really let that go. So in this case it's kind of an easier decision. There comes the hook against Jove. He could get away there. He got stunned out by the storm for just a second. Nice move. Our Aragi does not get through that quick corner there. Very well done. And the Hinterland Blast. Samoni is dying. Oh my god. There's only Bakery left. It's a 5 versus 3 and they are in hot pursuit already. Like sharks in the water. They smelled weakness and they are trying to take them down here. Jove at the front gets locked down but jumps away. There is Nika still with another hammer. And they got the tribute already. It's 2 for 2, but they cannot really fight it anymore. They don't want to risk losing heroes and they can still go for boss. 13 seconds on the boss, so they should be able to get that, but they need to well up first. And with a fort at the top lane, it's of course a great position for them. So they can still go to the well, they can just ready up, go for the boss, and then maybe even go down and contest hard camp and the boss here as well, since this one is going to be down for another 50 seconds. And it's going to be a great position for them. They might even be able to capture level 20 and then move in with 20, with boss, and all the advantages, all the cards in their hand. I actually am pretty sure that this is exactly what we're going to see there. I mean, look how close they are to the next level. And that will give, first of all, Mirrodin the opportunity to go either for Hardened Shield or more likely for Rewind. We are going to see Rewind on Zeratul as well. This is going to be a great talent for them. And yeah, this is the, oh my god, that timing, perfect timing for the curse. They have the 20 now, there is the Call of the Wild Hammer, we have double Rewind on them already, and there's also, ooh, Storm of Vengeance with 4 Shadow Waves instead of only 2. This is amazing, this is amazing for 3D Max. 19 versus 20, it's the battle that they want to fight, especially since the boss is still going ham at the top lane. The longer this fight goes, the better for them. And this is bad news for SK. They're already down in the best of 3 series, and here comes again 3D Max trying to close that out. Oh, that lockdown just barely missed, but it missed. And Zamoni is now very much alone and about to be taken out here. Bam! The ult about to go in. Didn't actually get off, was stunned out by our Aragi. Down goes Zeratul. Wow, look at that. Suddenly SK has found a weakness in the defense of 3D Max and is starting to take down heroes. The red team is cursed. They actually got the curse off. Great position for them, but that boss is starting to attack the core and is doing work over here. It's not going to be able to kill it, but it's definitely going to damage it. The fort is nearly down, and what looked like a sure victory for 3D Max could maybe be turned around. But of course SK is still far behind. They don't have level 20 yet. They're still going to lose at least some hit points on the core over here. It's not going to be too much, but it's going to hurt in the long run, I guess. Yep, 85 for now. But still, SK is starting to make a comeback. They're starting with a position where they have level 20 access. They're going to get one of the bosses. And ADRD and his team, oh wow, they're actually going to try and contest the boss. They're already moving in. They don't have everybody here just yet. Zeratul is still down. I don't think they can do that. They're moving back already. Or he can't jump in. No way. Boss is taken. And yeah, how are they going to play it? At the top lane, that lone siege giant has a good chance of taking down that fort. That's a lot of experience that ends up in the hands of SK Gaming. Suddenly they have double Hardened Shield, they have the Ravenous Spirit, and this is going to be a total new game. This is a completely different game from what we just saw a few seconds ago. Vala is starting to move in again. They're trying to capture this one. Oh, nice stun. Great stun against Zeratul. He moves away, but look at Bakery. Where comes that ultimate? Doesn't go for it. Shaiku is moving in. Shaihu is trying to pull it off. Nice heal. The entrance heal healing keeps Vala alive for now. Great shadow waves that we saw there. And look at that amazing Void Prison tripping through. And bam! Snitch! Wow, he just got a shield in the last second. He was about to die there. Kumato Boss, by the way, in the same situation. But Zeratul goes down even with a rewind. And oh boy, is SK coming back into this. What a comeback by them! They were dead in the waters and suddenly they are chasing the Polish team away. And it looks like this might be... Boys, this might actually be even game. 3 heroes... Can they finish? I don't think so. Kumato Boss is low, Mana is low on him too, but they have that boss still. They're gonna try, they can finish. Yes, I think they can. They still have a bit of mana left, but if Vala is not getting a kill in here, then I guess it's gonna be over. She's trying to get the kill. They need to get the kills faster. The boss is down. Kumato Boss is down as well. 40 on the core. The stun is still there. This is gonna be it. GG SK, they turn it around, they win the game, they defeat 3D Max in game number 1 and force out a 3rd map in the best of 3 series at the finals.
That game didn't really end like 3D Max was hoping for. They played really well throughout the entire series, and suddenly it's just like SK Gaming who dominates the last few battles and is able to win the match, and of course now forces out that 3rd match that we've been talking about. The series is tied, it's a 1-1, and we're gonna jump into the final map between the two teams to find out who will be the victor of the Go4Heroes final.
The last map is Garden of Terror. The last game in the best of 3 series here, the Go4Heroes final between 3D Max and SK Gaming. And starting to the left side, we are actually looking at SK Gaming with Araragi on Tyrael, Snitch on Tyrande, Kumato Boss on Rega, Illidan on Zamoni, or the other way around, Bakery playing Vala, and to the right side of the map, the Polish team in this 3rd map of the best of 3 series with AD Ardi on Azibo, Leo from Korea on Malfiren, Shaihu on ETC, Nika on Sergeant Hammer, and Tacita played by Yoba. It looked like it was already over. It looked like 3D Max would easily defeat SK Gaming with a 2-0, but oh boy did SK turn that last game around. Suddenly 3D Max didn't know what hit him, and SK Gaming won the game and forced this 3rd map in the series. Very, very well done. Now we're looking at, once again, a pretty interesting draft for the two teams. We're having Illidan and Tyrael being chosen here for a jumper comp that SK is playing, without Tacita though. So keeping heroes alive is going to be a bit tricky for them, but they needed some kind of interrupt, and instead of going for Murden, they decided to go for Tyrael, which gives them more options when it comes to jumping an opponent and really just like diving hard for that. So right now we're having a lot of channeling ultimates already, or channeling spells in general, from the side of 3D Max, and that makes it very difficult. Ooh, nice! AD already immediately locked down. Well, for some reason they didn't see that coming. That's actually a bit wow, they lose 2. It's really surprising to me that they did not realize this would happen, because you saw those heroes move from the bot lane up to the top, and it was kind of obvious that they would start to attack here at some point, but apparently they didn't realize how strong that would be. Suddenly they lose 2 heroes, and SK is off to a very, very good start. I feel that the comp that's being played by 3D Max is extremely dangerous, since it relies a lot on lockdown that you have with the roots that you have with Mosh Pit, also the stun of ETC in itself, and all of that stuff together with the damage paired from the Ravenous Spirit, from also Sergeant Hammer, and then the Storms are great. Hammer, by the way, taken out again, and 3D Max needs to be really careful. They're 3 kills behind already, and we are only 1 minute and 40 seconds into the game, and this is not looking good for them. They need to be extremely careful how they play this right now, because that game started like absolutely, that was a horrible start for them. The levels are the same, it's 4 versus 4, so it's still all good in the hood. Like those early kills, they don't matter too much, since the death timers are extremely low, and as long as you still have another hero in the lane to soak up the experience, it's not too bad. So don't think that just because they lost a few heroes, they're already out or they are far behind. They are not. The early kills don't matter that much unless you don't have another hero on the lane and you lose lane experience, which in this case they didn't. They're actually ahead. 3D Max is ahead in experience. But of course it's already a bit of an indicator of what they need to prepare for. So 3D Max needs to be careful how they're going into the rest of the game. The talents taken now, the level 1 talent, Ontario, is Protection in Death, which is a talent that especially Araragi was playing around in the past already a lot. He's of course once again on the tank for SK. Zamoni is in the mid lane already. We're looking down to the bot lane where ETC and Rega are fighting it out. And in this case we're having Resistant taken for our siege tank here. So against all the stuns and roots that we see on the opponent's team, makes sense. Well, it's not that much, but it's the ones that really matter. Judgment and of course then also the Tyrande spells. So you need to be careful with that. Top lane seeds, like all of the seeds are currently being claimed by the two teams, but so far SK has done a much better job getting the seeds in there, especially most of the small camps were already taken by them. So looking to the top, we have now finally a few gathered up by 3D Max as well, but as you can tell, it's already 100 seeds against 60 in total, so that's exactly how it plans out here. 120 even against 60. Very well done in this case by SK Gaming. It's level 7 versus level 7, and the talents that we are seeing at this point are the familiar ones. By the way, no Storm on level 1 taken for Tacita for the mana per hit, but instead going for the Conjurer's Pursuit. We're having for, actually like Zealotry here being used. The shield duration by 100% for Aragi on his Tyrael. So using that right now. We're seeing Snitch and the rest of the team moving in and starting to just claim a couple of those camps, and just with the perfect timing before our Aragi starts to grab the plant and moves in. So once that you grab the plant, the mercenary camps on the map, they disappear, but not the ones where you have already started to attack them. So in this case they have one camp pushing the bot lane and are starting to push the mid lane with a plant, trying to put some pressure onto this. Again on Vala we're having this build that we saw earlier with Rancor, Arsenal, and this time actually Caltrops being used on 7. So a very different Vala build from what we've seen so far. It's currently being played by Bakery here. Bakery usually also one of those players that relies a lot on his multi-shot build. In this case that's not happening, but it's a variation of what we are seeing here. So bot lane, that's where another keep is, or fort is being attacked. They're going straight for that, and I mean there's 3 players already together with a hard camp. Shire and Leo are trying their best to lock them down as much as they can, but there's already healing ward in the back and this fort is gone. That early camp and the plant together, they did a lot of damage there. And this is level 10 against the level 9 that we are seeing for 3D Max. SK is starting into this game is so different from the last 2 maps. Suddenly they are the ones who are really putting the pressure upon 3D Max. Judgment is there, Starfall with Ancestral Healing, Metamorphosis, and also Strafe being used in this case. So not even Reign of Vengeance, which means even less interrupt that we're seeing for SK Gaming. I think in this game now it's gonna become even more important for 3D Max to just land that mosh pit. Oh my god, 80 already. Yeah, getting really low but getting away. It's going to be so important for 3D Max to land that mosh pit and also go straight for that Ravenous Spirit. And interestingly enough, we have Silence taken by Leo from Korea. Balls to the wall, not a lot of healing here for the team. First aid really going to be used a lot by Sergeant Hammer, I guess. But if they get that comp off just one, then yeah, if they get the comp off just once, then they're going to be in a great spot. And there we go! Ooh, let him dance, baby! And no. Apparently, for some reason, ETC, the cow, doesn't want to hit the dance floor just yet. We have a kill for each team. We have Sergeant Hammer gone and Illidan. Storms are already there. They're starting to grab the hard camp. I really thought for a second that Shire would try and go for the dance floor battle here and make good old... make good old Illidan into a rap star, but nope, that didn't happen there. So we have level 12 versus 11. The difference in experience is really not all that great. It's 4 kills against 1, and both teams are really just waiting for the level 13 to hit and for the next battle to happen. And especially, of course, the seeds that are now available during the night are going to be one of those main focus of attention for both of the teams, and we are probably going to see them fight for one of those. But it looks like it's going to be an even split instead. Like the top lane is just going to be taken completely by 3D Max, and the bottom parts are taken by their opponents. And in this case, are we going to have a plan for a plan? I don't think so, right? It's going to be close, but not quite. Or are they just having enough? Yes, they just have enough. Alright. So they just get enough for a plan. Level 13 will hit any second right now for SK Gaming, and that gives them an advantage in the next fight. Having all of them just rotating in again. It's all those ults, really. Like, just think about what happens here if suddenly 3D Max is able to hit a Mosh Pit, the Silence, and the Ravenous Spirit. If they hit that once, they can kill the entire opponent's team instantly. But getting that is difficult. It's really difficult. You need the perfect setup, the perfect timing. They're going for Kumato boss. Oh! And they get the kill against Rhaegar. Really well done. They get the Rhaegar kill, and that was, of course, at a very unfortunate time there. Yeah, here comes the plant already, putting the pots in. Plant versus plant, Snitch versus ADRD. You have already the frost shot taken by Val on level 13. The talent also hit now for 3D Max, and they are relying on the Shrink Ray, as well as on the speed for Ravenous Spirit there. Once again, imposing will now taken on level 13, since Cast Aside has been taken out of the game. And this is going to be a really tough battle, especially since Rhaegar is still out. He's on his way to the battle, but he is still a bit far away. So this fort is definitely going to fall, and you need to be careful that the cow is not moving in for a quick dance. And, well, they're moving back already. Nice moves there. I really like what we are seeing from SK. But of course, they lost that fort, and the experience advantage now goes to 3D Max. They really had a bit of a shaky start into this game, but they're recovering nicely and doing very well here. The Battle of the Trees, Ancient of Wars all over again. Warcraft 3 fans are having nightmares again. And we thought it was all over, but no, Blizzard had a special treat for us, and they invented Heroes of the Storm and brought the Ancients of War back. How could they? They are not showing mercy. Blizzard, I hate you. So right now we have a 5 versus 5 again. Snitch is still on the plant for another 10 seconds. That's not going to give him too much. The pot is already about to drop. Oh, Yoa moving back in the last. And now maybe a fight happening here. Now suddenly they have the chance to go for it. Better position for 3 Max thanks to the towers that they have in position. But they're just going to go for the defense. And we have also Nika moving to the top lane already to get the experience in there. And he's doing exactly that. 50 seeds against 10 now. Oh, camp about to be taken. Nika on his hammer isn't there yet. Shaiku at the front. Are we gonna try and contest that? Yes. Is he gonna go for the mosh pit? He jumps in, and it's party time! But nope, he gets immediately cancelled. That was a really bad one, but there comes the attack against Aragi. Aragi is down. Snitch gets healed. A good interrupt against ADRD as well. That didn't really work out as planned from 3 Max, but they still fight a 5 versus 4 right now. The question is just for how long. Zamoni! Zamoni is nearly dead. Oh my god, how does he get away there? And Sergeant Hammer was taken out. But the rest of the team, they are running away, and oh boy, they were actually able to make that work. Holy cow. And I'm not talking about ETC here. He kind of missed his ult a bit. He got immediately stunned out when he used his ult. That did not work for him at all, which was actually quite sad. And then also ADRD didn't get his own Ravenous Spirit in. This could have been way better for 3 Max. They were actually in a pretty decent position there. But right now, it is still 15 versus 15. And I guess the Polish team has to wait for another shot to really take that. SK, on the other hand, is doing this quite well. They just saved Zamoni. I still don't know how they managed to do that. Yoba with the Dimensional Shift moves away. Yeah, that is not really working up nicely for 3D Max. Instead, SK is really making the plays right now. They're rotating over the map, they're trying to get more seats, and most importantly, they're trying to deny them to their opponent. And with that, especially Araragi moving in, stealing the seats and just simply jumping out, it's suddenly a lot of pressure that we're seeing onto 3D Max. They're trying to get the seats, but they're still playing a 4 versus 5, so they need to wait for that. We have Leo moving in, and nearly getting his root in completely, but still a very tricky position for them. Tacita isn't there yet, and the seats at the top are already taken, or well, at least they are starting it. SK is trying to claim them now. Snitch at the front can always just shoot another owl in there. They need to be careful that they're not stunned out. That would be a good setup for especially ETC to get his own in. Oh, they're actually stealing the hard camp. Well, not stealing it, but they're taking it as Tacita moves in. But the seat count is now really nice for SK Gaming. Here we have the attack trying to unhorse Aragi. That didn't work, and well, in the situation that we're in now, the bottom seats, they matter, and that's finally the ones where we can see Tacita back in action. But quadruple blood for blood. This is hell for ETC. This is absolute hell for ETC. Quadruple blood for blood right now. It doesn't get worse than this. Well, I guess it does with a quintuple blood for blood, but he doesn't have to deal with that just now. Oh, the initiation just over there to the tank, and boom! Nika is dead. Here comes Shire, who lets them dance. Zamoni is getting healed. Oh my god, that ancestral healing was beautiful. And Shire is about to die too. As once again the ADRD is cancelled out with his own Ravenous Spirit. 3 heroes dead. That jumper comp is doing too much work. The tank was just like too close, and then the Blood for Blood starts hitting him. He gets tanked down immediately with all that Hunter's Mark damage, and of course then also the stuns. Very well done by SK here. And yeah, I guess a lot comes down to earlier 3D Max not getting that perfect comp over there. If they could have killed so many heroes there and gotten a huge lead in the game, but they didn't, and now they suddenly look at the position where they are starting to fall behind. They are half a level behind already. This is the last map in the best of 3 series, meaning that if they lose it right now, if 3D Max is taken apart by SK Gaming, then the winner of this tournament is SK Gaming. The team is doing very well. 2 times they were already about to lose the map. Once they were able to come back. In map number 1 they were absolutely destroyed, but here they are playing a great game right now. This seems to be just a comp that they are way more comfortable with. But it's not over yet. 1 good comp in a team fight and we could see 3D Max just bouncing back and doing it. We're all waiting, of course, for Leo from Korea and his silence. We're waiting for Shire and his mosh pit. Maybe one's gonna get a good one-off. Ravenous Spirit, if you're having a good position for that, that's all the damage that you need, but they cannot lose individual heroes in situations like this. Yoba is moving back, has already the healing ward, and they do not have a plan, and that's a problem. They're trying to drop this one. The bottom lane is currently being attacked, but we still have ammunition on towers and keep, so it shouldn't be a problem, at least not now. Experience lead for SK Gaming, that is a problem though. That's a completely different matter. They still have quite a lot of seats, so they will be able to get a plant later on. Well, at least they should be. But we're having them pushing in once again. And here comes Snitch once more. The Storm hitting home. 10 seconds on that Garden Terror. Trying to get another pot in, and he does. Does he get the damage against the keep? Only a bit, not too much. There it goes down already. And, well, with the hovering mode, maybe trying to use the range here. Nah, not quite. 17 against 18, even a little bit more than that. But that quadruple Blood for Blood is still just... This is just pain. This is absolutely horrible for any tank, or for any hero. It doesn't even have to be a tank. If you are suddenly being hit by 1 Blood for Blood, you're already saying like, I don't like that too much. The second one comes in and you're like, hey boy, be careful here, okay? The third one comes in and you're like, what the hell? And then number 4 comes in and then you don't say anything anymore because you've been dead like ages ago already. And yeah, 18 versus 17. Knight is gonna fall, of course, in a few seconds once again, and that's where the party begins once more. That's also one of the reasons why we're having them taking the camps already, because they want to get some freedom for the next night to just like roam the map and get the seeds. They don't need too much. 1 easy camp is all that 3D Max needs right now to get at least 1 plan. The dream would, of course, be to get 2 plans in a row by dominating 1 fight and then getting all of the seeds. But yeah, the chances for that are, well, I don't want to say slim to none, but they're definitely not the biggest. It's 19 versus 17, so they need to kind of try and fight soon over something here. Hard camp is back. That's a pretty nice focus for both of the teams right now. And yeah, at this point, once again, they're just like trying to look for an opportunity to maybe turn things around here. Yoba is up at the top here, and they're trying to go for the hard camp. It's actually looking not too bad, but the rest of the SK is just waiting for that to happen. They're pushing through the wall, as you can see. First tower is down, hard camp has been taken. Level 20 is still a long way away. 6 seconds, again, 6 seconds on the seats, and here comes Shire, who is trying to move in. Nope. Not going for the ult just yet. Slow and steady. Nika is sieging forward with his hovering mode. We have a 5 versus 5. Easy camps are being taken to the left. There's the one to the right. That's all the seeds that 3D Max needs for now, and they're getting it. Did I hear a party's tune? No. So far, ETC didn't get an opportunity to make them dance, make them shake it, baby. And especially, I heard that especially Rega can shake it like no other. Shire is already moving down to the bottom. Can they maybe isolate somebody? I highly doubt that. But nope, not just yet. Moving in once again, trying to go for it. Shire at the front needs to be careful against all that blood for blood that we're seeing. They're pushing them back. The plant is still there. They're big, 2 big garden terrors, but now we have 1 ready for each team. Are they going to try and take the seeds here? Well, we are doing a bit of damage to it. They're grabbing a lot of the seeds, and it looks like SK is just rotating to the top, trying to claim the seeds at the top lane. And you can't really allow that. 3D Max should not allow all of those seeds to be taken by their opponent. The plant is starting to move in. It's moving to the top. We have another plant on the way to the left. ADRD picking this one. Our Ragi this time leaving the plant for Snitch again, as we saw in the second one. They're moving up to the top again, and they're losing all of the seeds here. They're losing every single one. It's not really a good position for them to be in. Maybe with a good polymorph start into the game. Yeah, you can't really fight against that plant, at least not with the mosh pit. One polymorph seed is all that needs to be thrown by the plant, and then you're going to lose a lot of your stuff. But so we have in the mid lane, ADRD once again in position, trying to just like de-push the lane, which he did. Needs to move up to the top. They're going to lose that fort regardless. They're up against level 20, and that means that Illidan has finally access to his Nexus blades. We have Vala actually with Nexus Frenzy with the build that he's laying here. Of course with the Rexford, she is just shooting like a machine gun right now. Wow, look at that attack speed. Did you see that? Let's watch her a bit how she's going to do this, how much damage she's going to do there. Hardened Shield on Tyrael makes it so much more difficult to really drop him. That 20 is extremely strong for SK. They have such a great level 20, it is absolutely amazing. And the only level 20 skill that really is completely brutal when you are talking about, of course, 3D Max is definitely Hammer with the Nexus Frenzy. But Hardened Shield on ETC also pretty decent. But right now, I'm really curious how 3D Max is going to try and win this, because this game is completely different from what we've seen before. SK in much better position, playing a great game here, going in again. 3D Max is still looking for an opportunity to just get that engagement. They never really got their ults off. Not once were they able to really get the full duration of their ults off, or even a bit more than that. And yes, they're starting to jump in again, or looking at it. ADRD just pushing some damage in. Down goes the first plant. They're going to lose theirs very soon as well. Yeah, Snitch is still there. And plants are down. Plants are down, but it's still 20 versus 19, and that is the big problem that 3D Max is currently having. Can they somehow win a battle? They don't want to fight it. But SK is not asking them. SK is not asking, hey guys, are you okay, like if we fight now? Oh no, yeah, alright, then we move back. Nope, they're just trying to push them into it. But for now, they have actually, yeah, they can't really do too much yet. They see that the siege camp came on, and that's the one that they're going to take, and then they're going to try another shot and moving in. One more camp already taken out. That's a bit more experience that they gathered up. The rest of the lanes are still pushing in. Level 20, not there yet for 3D Max, and that Siege Giant camp is gonna make things even more difficult. Yoba needs to use his double storm for that. As the first one already, this hits the second one. Damage done towards the keep already. 20 is close, it's closing in. Shire not using his ult just yet. Oh, nice block against our Ragi. He can't jump away apparently. It was looking like it was still in cooldown, but he's healed up again already. And still not 20. Still no 20 for the Polish team. They're still trying. They're still in position. Another Sentinel already hits and dishes a bit more damage out. So right now we're having the Polish team moving back, and SK realizing that just for now they cannot go back and do anything more. They have to move back though, I want to say, because they can't really push in farther than that and can't get the keep just yet. So at this point we're having the camps taken at the top. How is 3D Max gonna take it right now? They need to first of all take the lane XP right here, and they do it. But they're still not 20. They're still not level 20. They take maybe the seed. What are they waiting for? They're waiting for the knight. They're gonna try and take enough seeds so that they can at least fight in the next one. There comes Napalm already being used. They're moving back to the top. They cannot fight, and they know it. They need to move back again, and they hate it, but they have to do it. And now that they are finally level 20, finally they might have a chance here. The Ravenous Spirit, double blink, and blink on Malfurion is actually very tricky. If he blinks in and silences the team, that might be exactly the cue that ETC needs. If they both just blink into a 5-man, get silence, and then also the rest of their skills off, that would be exactly what they need here. Initiation, this time the silence, and make them dance. He makes them dance. The first one down, Ravenous Spirit, this is what they were waiting for. This is what they were waiting for. They get so much damage in. Bakery might die here. Oh no, the healing one is maybe saving him, but 2 heroes are already down. Oh my god, I can't believe that they saved 3, but they lost 2. Very well done. Great job here. This time you could really see the silence coming into play, and then ATC using his ult. Maybe now they can get some, yeah, maybe just like some wriggle room to do something here, because so far they have been in a horrible spot. Plant versus plant, that's what what's going to happen here. 30 to 40 seconds that the opponents are still down. You get extra seeds, first of all, over here, and then also at the bottom. They're trying to get a double plant. They are trying now to get a double plant. That's the idea here. SK Gaming, they have dominated this game. They have dominated it. Are they able to win it, or is it suddenly going to be a 3D Max after all that are winning this final? Up at the top lane, Snitch and Kumatopos. ETC is trying to laze them, and we have the rest of the team jumping in. Nice stun against Yoba and Leo. Oh, but Snitch is being pushed back, and down goes Vala. This is, sorry, Tyrande. This is exactly what you don't want. This is exactly what you don't want. While you are down 2 heroes, fight a battle, lose another one, and like end up in this like vicious cycle where you never have really a chance to come back. Kumatopos is super low, and Nika is getting his damage in, taking him down 2. Once again, it's a 5 versus 3, and suddenly 3D Max is snowballing. Suddenly they are snowballing, and they want Bakery, and they want him bad. I mean, who doesn't want Vala? But still, if there's going to be a blink, and there it is, the blink, he's unhorsed already. Khaldor saving him for now, but it is the double plant that we've been talking about. Or is it? It should be. It could be 97. I think they are going to be at 97. Just barely. It's not going to be the double plant, or is it? Yep, 97, that's it. No double plant. Wow. That's SK's saving grace, that they were able to just snatch 3 seeds away. That's the saving grace for them right now. If they would have lost those 3 seeds, I would have been afraid they might have lost it here. SK is trying to defend it right now. Aragi on the plan, Zamoni, Bakery. They're all just starting to push that in. And they're only this, there's also Snitch back, but we still don't have Rhaegar. Maybe that's the time where they are going to lose one of their force. They're trying to defend it. Of course, they know that this is really the crucial part right now. Zamoni is waiting. He's waiting. He's not going in just yet. He's waiting for an opportunity, for a chance. ADRD is spot Nika doing a lot of damage, but gets polymorph 1 second. Needs to be very, very careful how he approaches this. Aragi and ADRD are just hammering away against each other, trying to drop each other out of the plant here, making sure that that keep is gonna fall regardless. Napalm again being used, and the keep is still alive. The keep is still alive, and it is a 5 versus 5 right now. Nika once again on the way in. ADRD with another polymorph seed. Is he gonna get another plant in? He's trying, and there, yes, this keep is probably gonna fall. Is it gonna fall? One shot, and there it goes. Keep is down. Advantage 3 max. Advantage 3 max. Aragi low. Double healing ward already set in place. And they just retreat for now. ADRD still with another 25 seconds on the plan. He's moving to the bottom, moving to the top, trying to just like rotate them out, fake them out a little bit. And they're going straight for the bottom fort here. This is going to be another plant that's being dropped in. And Zamoni and the rest of SK is already rotating towards it. They're trying to put some additional pressure in. The well is down, and it's also going to take down a few of the towers. So at least bring them very, very close, and SK is jumping in. SK wants this. They want it, and they want it right now, and they're moving in already. Here comes Leo. Can he get a silence off? Oh, he gets initiated upon. Here comes the Metamorphosis. Goes in. Silence already used. Doesn't hit too many, though. And nice ult this time. Look at this ultimate from ADRD. Here comes ETC. He makes Aragi dance. I had no idea that Aragi had those beautiful moves on the dance floor, but he knows how to surprise people. Suddenly, Illidan is down with Illidan dead already. They are fighting a 4 versus 5 again and need to retreat here. They need to retreat, and this game just went from 0 to hero. This is absolutely crazy. We had 3D Max in so much trouble, but they are turning things around there. They are starting to win the battles. They are starting to take their kills. It's 8 kills against 9, 30 seconds on Illidan, and of course, like, guess what? This fort is gone. This is a goner. They can't do anything about that. 172,000 siege damage on good old Vala, by the way, and at the same time nearly 200,000 already on a Zebo. This is getting sick. 52,000 damage on a Zebo and on Sergeant Hammer. The only one who has a bit more is Vala in this game, and I guess that's going to change very soon. Right now, this is an absolutely insane game. It's going to be a 5 versus 5 once again. Most of the heroic abilities are down, though. We have still Ancestral Healing up, and we also have Strafe up. But the talents that we are still missing are the talents for 3D Max. Only for a couple of seconds, though. It's not going to take too long for them to have those ready again. And of course, the one talent that we're all looking at is, besides the Mosh Pit, Silence. These are the ones that really matter, that really count, and all of them are ready by now, except for the mosh pit. The mosh pit is not going to be back for another 20 seconds, and that's why they move back. They don't want to fight without it. They don't want to fight without it. They might have to, but they don't want to, and they move back. 17 more seconds for their heroic ability to come up again. Level 23 versus level 22. The Polish team has played an amazing first map. They destroyed SK, and in the second one it looked like they might be able to do it again, but then suddenly SK was able to turn things around and take them out. Now we have a plant already on the way. They're moving in with a plant. They're pretty fast with that, and they're going straight for the core. Oh my god, they're going to try and go for the core. They're moving in already. The plant is on the way to the top, chasing them away, and this is going to be an attempt to catch them out. Maybe the silence. Are they going to go for it? Is Leo... Where is the blink silence? There we go! He's moving in, and Tacida is already down. Tacida is down, but Snitch dies as well. Kumato boss gets healed in the last second. Goes for the self-heal here. Araragi is low as well. Oh my god. Araragi is down too, but it's a 3 versus 2 as suddenly Malfurion and Tank die as well. It might be a team wipe. Kumatu boss, can he save himself? It looks like it, and ADRD is the only survivor, at least for now. SK Gaming, SK Gaming! Oh, nice job by ADRD, but he can't get close enough for the finishing blow. He can't get close enough. And here comes Nazeebo, and well, Nazeebo shouldn't be able to... Oh, the kill! Wow, he gets it. He actually gets the kill, and look at that core, low to 60% thanks to the hard camp. Oh my god, so many heroes down, and ADRD, the boss, took down Vala. If not for that, I think they would have been in an even worse spot, because Vala could have grabbed so many seats for them. Suddenly it's the battle for the seats again, and Tacida is back now as well. Malfurion is on the way too. Zamoni is of course trying to hunt some prey, but at the top lane they're going for this one, and this is nearly dead. Going for the big one, taking it down, grabbing all of the seats. How many can they get? Can they get 100? The core is at 60, 57%! 57, and they all move down to the bot lane. It's 5 versus 4. It's a 5 versus 4 for 3D Max. This game is insane. This is insanity. This is pure, like, I don't even know what to say anymore. 5 versus 4, and why? Because ADRD was a boss and used that ult, just had the balls to stay in 3 heroes and say, I am going to kill that Vala. I do not care, I'm going to kill her. And he did. And suddenly it could be the plant. It could be the plant that decides the game. It's a 4 versus 5, but they might have to move in and go for it. Here comes the Starfall. They're trying to fight. Vala is back, but the seats have been taken. The seats have been taken. Can they disengage though? Here comes the initiation against Nika. Ooh, Nika is low, is so low, but so is Snitch. Nika still being at. Look at that Ravenous Spirit. Nika goes down, and here comes the stun against ADRD, but the party is happening. Oh god, Tacida is now down too. Tacida is down, ADRD is running, and ETC is trying to get away, but against the Nexus Blades is very difficult. Oh, what a ADRD for me, the player of the game already. That wall of zombies just saved the ass of the Shaiku. That was great play. They need the plants right now, and I guess they just move cross map. If I was Leo, I would just move cross map, and that's exactly what he does. He moves cross map. I mean, what else are you going to do? 5 heroes are trying to take the core. Is the plant going to be faster? Oh my god, I don't think he can do it. I don't think he can do it. No, he's moving back. He's moving back, and he has to. I really thought he might be able to do that, but I also thought that we might have like 1 hero down for SK. That's not the case. Great ancestral healing. Here comes Leo. Leo moving in. They're trying to drop Araragi. Look at that plant. The damage on the plant is insane. 1000 damage per hit. Bakery dropped. They dropped Bakery. They drop Bakery, and that might be all that they need to. Without Bakery, dropping the core is not going to be possible, especially now that Sergeant Hammer is back. They can maybe end here. 3D Max could end this game. This series is just like... This is totally insane. I never expected that, especially not after the first game, where we saw 3D Max completely dominate. Oh my god, he misses the hit! Great move by Zamoni. They're going in again. Zamoni's down! Zamoni is down. The Starfall already used. Araragi is dropped as well. This plant is not hitting like a truck. This plant picks up trucks and hits people with them. Leo is starting to move to the left side. They are trying to end it. Down goes Rega as well. And ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the Polish team is winning it after all. At the end of the day, they are the ones who win the Go4Heroes tournament, take the final with a 2-1 against SK Gaming. A brilliant game, a fantastic game, a beautiful game by 3D Max, and the final victory for them. GG and well played.